Assalamualaikum. Today we are going to present about client server networking CSC 2203. This is proposal for server networking in KPM Beaufort Sabah. Okay. As you can see, there is 3 building, which is it being academic building and one administration building and 2 academic building. As you can see, there is 100 computer in each academic building and 50 computer in administration building. For the IP, we are using 192.168.9.0 for our networking. There are also DNS server and DCP server. Okay.
The client computer hardware specification for student staff. The processor we are using AMD Ryzen 3. For the OS, Windows 11 Home. So for the price, we collaborate at 250 ringgit. 2050 ringgit. And for the graphic, we are use AMD Radeon graphics. So for the display, we use 23.8 Full HD, 3 micro H. Then for the memory, we use 8 GB DDR4. So they can install a 2 memory slot. For the storage, we are using 512 GB. So for the warranty, we provide a 1 year limited. So the quantity we use 249. Okay, next. Okay, for the client computer hardware for server staff, we are use HP Pavilion. And the processor used is Intel Core i7 10th Gen. For the OS, we use Windows Server 2022. For the price, which is 749 ringgit. For the graphic, we use NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3050. For the display, we use 27 Full HD. So for the memory, we use 16 GB DDR4. And for the memory slot, we can install 4 SODIMM. For the storage, we are use 1 TB. For the warranty for this computer hardware is 2 year limited. So the quantity of this server staff computer is 1 unit. So the file server hardware specification, we use Lenovo T7. For the CPU is Intel Xeon, and the RAM are 64 GB. For the storage is 40 TB SSD. For the connectivity, it have 8 port for USB 3.0 serial video, 2 display port, audio, gigabit, Ethernet. For the price is 500 ringgit. So the quantity is 2. Then for the explanation about client computer, we use on Windows 11. So for the Windows 11 home client computer, the DNS server is typically used to resolve domain name to IP addresses, allowing the computer to access websites and other internet resources. When a user type a domain name into a web browser on a Windows 11 home, client computer, the browser send a request to the DNS server, configure on the computer to resolve the domain name to an IP address. So the DNS server look up the IP address associated with the domain in the database and returns to the IP address to the browser. So the browser then use the IP address to connect to the web server hosting the website associated with the domain name. So for the justification on the Windows 11 home client computer, the DNS server is used for resolving domain name to IP addresses so that the computer can access website and other internet resources. The setting can be configured through the setting app or by using third-party domain name server software. Okay, for the explanation about server, we are using Windows Server 2022. So for the Windows Server 22 is a group of operating system designed by Microsoft that supports enterprise level management data storage, application, and communication. So for the previous version of Windows Server has focused on stability, security, networking, and various improvements to the file system. So we are using Windows Server 22. It is simply more powerful and more stable than any of its predecessors. This means that your core infrastructure technologies are going to run better than ever have and be more secure than they have ever been in the past by placing those existing workloads on top of Windows Server 2022.
Okay, next is a list of user software that will be used in our networking client server. Okay, for the first one is Microsoft Word. This software is essential for the client's computer as it must have application in all computer to make a document, assignment, etc. It is installed in all 550 staff and 200 student computer. For the requirement is 1.1 GHz or faster to core and 4 GB RAM. Also, graphic hardware acceleration requires DirectX 9 or later with WDDM 2.0 or higher for Windows 10. Okay, and for the minimum hard disk is 4 GB RAM, and for the minimum resolution is 1280 x 768 screen resolution. And the second one is being Microsoft PowerPoint. This software is important for user to do a presentation when needed. Installed in all 50 staff and 200 student computer. For the requirement, it is the same as the Microsoft Word, which is being 1.1 GHz or faster to core, 4 GB RAM, graphic hardware acceleration, DirectX 9 or later, 4 GB RAM, 4 GB of free hard disk space, and 1280 times 7868 screen resolution. Okay, and next is Microsoft Teams. The client computer requires this application as it makes easier for student and lecturer to communicate. For example, when student want to hand in an assignment, so the student can hand in the assignment in this application. And for the installation, it is installed in all 50 staff and 200 student computer. For the requirement, it is same as the above, except it only requires 3 GB of free hard disk space. And lastly is Microsoft Edge. This application software is usually come with the Windows. The application will help you to find all information that needed in the internet. It will install in 50 staff and 200 studio computer. For requirement, still the same as the above. And next is list of system software. For the first one is Windows 11. This is the newest OS that have been created by Windows. With this OS, user will have an up-to-date experience and it will be receiving a consistent update more than the older version. For this Windows 11, it will be installed in 49 staff and 200 student computer. For the requirement, the computer must at least have 1 GHz or faster with 2 or more cores on a compatible 64-bit processor or system on a chip. For the RAM, it must have at least 4 GB RAM and the storage must have 64 GB of larger storage. For the graphic hardware compatible with DirectX 12 or later with WDM 2.0 driver. Height definition 220p display is greater than 9 inches diagonally, 8 bit per color channel. And the second one, which is being Windows Server 2022. Windows Server 2022 introduced advanced multi-layer security, hybrid capability with Azure, and flexible application platform. As part of this release, is bringing secure core compatibilities to help protect hardware, firmware, and Windows Server OS capabilities against advanced security threat. This Windows will be installed in only one staff computer. For the requirement, the computer must have 1.4 GHz or faster with two or more cores on a compatible 64-bit processor or system on a chip. And it must have at least 2 GB RAM and 32 GB of larger storage. The graphic hardware is the same as the Windows Server 11, and also for the high definition is also the same as the Windows 11. Okay, and this is the one. This is a software McAfee. The software will provide protection against virus and malware for all computers. Installed in 50 staff and 200 studio computer. For the requirement is only 1 GHz or faster with 2 or more cores on a compatible 64 bits processor or system on a chip. And also the computer must have at least 1 GB RAM and 500 MB of larger storage. For the graphic hardware and high definition is the same as above.
Okay, this is an explanation about the CP server. For the JCP server, is a network service that automatically assigns IP addresses to devices on the network. So how it will be applied in organization? So in an organization, JCP can be applied in several ways to manage and simplify the network infrastructure. First, automated IP address assignment. JCP server can be used to automatically assign IP addresses to devices as they connect to the network. This eliminates the need of manual IP address assignment and reduces the risk of IP address conflicts. So the second one is centralized management. Centralized management is the HCP server can be used to centralize manage IP addresses assignment for all devices on the network. It making it easier for network administrators to keep track of IP addresses and troubleshoot connectivity issues. So the VLAN, the CP server can also be used to assign devices to different VLANs based on their role or department. This allows for more secure and efficient use of the network resources. So the explanation about DNS server. DNS server is a network service that maps human-friendly domains names to the IP addresses used by computers to identify each other on the internet. The function of a DNS server is to resolve domain name to IP addresses so that user can access websites and other internet resources using easily remembered names rather than having to remember the IP addresses of those resources. How it will be applied in organization. In an organization, DNS server can be applied in several ways to manage and simplify the network infrastructure. Okay, for the first one is name resolution. The DNS server can be used to resolve domain name to IP addresses, allowing users to access internal and external resources using easily remembered names, rather than having to remember IP addresses. Okay, the second one is centralized management. The DNS server can be used to centrally manage domain name resolution for all devices on the network, making it easier for network administration to keep track of domain names and troubleshoot connectivity issues. For the last one is security. Okay, for the security, the server can be used to filter or block access to contain domains names, helping to prevent user from accessing malicious or inappropriate websites. So that is the end of our presentation. So thank you.